What's good, fam? Let me hit you with something wild that you definitely ain't heard anywhere else. So check this out. Drizzy out here, not just ducking smoke from Kendrick Lamar, but now he want Jay-Z and Roc Nation to jump into his messy lawsuit like it's some Marvel crossover event. Yeah, you heard right. Drake got everybody's name in his mouth, throwing papers at Harv like he the manager at Walmart he want to speak to. And the reason why? Man, that shit got layers. And once you see the full cake Drake been baking, you're gonna see why nobody in the culture wanna fumble a bag messing with Harv or Kendrick. This whole beef just turned into a soap opera with 0 W's and nothing but straight up L's, bro. So you already know, stick around because this story just keeps getting crazier. Now let's break down how Drake really out here crashing out in real time. So my boy goes ahead with his lawsuit on Universal Music Group, thinking he about to G-check his own label like that was gonna end well. But Aubrey don't stop there now. He started pointing fingers at everybody, even close to the Kendrick situation. Suddenly Jay-Z's name popping up in court filings like it's a diss track feature. Drake acting like Kendrick ain't just body him on Not Like Us. Now, he wanna pull the man who built Roc Nation into the courtroom, asking wild questions about who knew what when and trying to chase Super Bowl conspiracy theories. You ever seen a bigger L than a rapper who's supposed to be the biggest in the game suing a dude that retired from beef years ago just cause he can't take a loss in public? Straight embarrassing. All this started snowballing right around the time Kendrick Lamar shook the entire game with that Not Like Us anthem. Yeah, the same joint that made half the timeline tweet R.I.P. Drake. But it wasn't even just a track. Bro, Kendrick got up on that Super Bowl stage, made the song the cultural moment, and let everybody in every hood, every burb, every penthouse know exactly who running this era. You already know Super Bowl ain't just a halftime show. It's a career-defining moment. Drake sees that, starts spiraling, and now instead of taking the L quietly, he trying to make the yams at Thanksgiving about him. Bro pulled up a whole legal playbook, basically screaming, nah, y'all set me up. Like, bro, what is you doing? But the bigger L, Drake's legal griping just got messier, because he's dragging Roc Nation and Jay-Z into it, asking what role they played and let Kendrick go that hard. Now, I get why y'all confused. Like, why Jay-Z? Harv been on his grown man ever since Magna Carta. But when you in a losing battle like Drake, everybody look like the enemy. This what delusion on a global platform look like, y'all. Instead of fixing the bars, he out here trying to fix the scoreboard. Jay-Z ain't got to say a word. But if he did, trust and believe, Drake gonna regret making that call. Harvey is what? A billionaire with the power to shift the whole culture with a nod? That's not somebody you want at the other end of your paperwork, man. And yo, it's not lost on anybody how all these conspiracy heads springing up around Drake, acting like there's gotta be some grand scheme with Jay-Z, the NFL, and half of the Grammy committee. But really, it's just one dude crashing out on Wildin' because he can't admit when he lost. Bro, instead of working on your pen, you acting like you auditioning for an episode of Law and Order, Hip Hop Victims Unit. This lawsuit, these public moves, is desperation, plain and simple. If Jay-Z really get involved and responds, Drake might as well move to Canada for real, change his number, call it a wrap. And let's not forget, Universal ain't sitting still either. They've been trying to dead this lawsuit from jump, talking about artistic freedom. Kendrick can perform what he want. The lawyers got paperwork stacking up like albums in a crate, trying to make Drake look even more foolish for dragging all these names into what's basically a midlife crisis playing out in public. UMG ain't trying to mess up the money over one man's fragile ego. And Kendrick, man, he just chilling, letting the barbs fly over his head, watching the strings balloon every time Drake opened his mouth. All this drama would still be wild if it was just Kendrick and Drake. But you gotta remember, this is the dude who's still salty about Pusha T ending his career in that beef. How you take an OVO branded L, get called out for hiding a whole child, then turn around and try to claim everyone out to get me every spring since? Bro, you're not the main character. You the meme at this point. That beef with Pusha should have had him humble. Instead, it's got him thinking every OG in the game got a button to press on him. Matter of fact, Pusha T just sitting back, watching his old diss tracks age like fine wine while Drake running scared and trying to erase the one dude that exposed the soft underbelly. Drake already tried to silence Push legally, blocking him at every single move. He couldn't even handle a pure rap beef. So now you think dragging Jay-Z into a lawsuit gonna save his reputation? Fam, that's not a W, that's delusion on full display. Yo, if you feel me so far and want this story to reach even more people, hit that like, drop a sub, and share it around. If you riding with hip hop and tired of these corny tactics, you need to let YouTube know this is the content that gotta be seen. Cause trust me, the next part is only gonna raise eyebrows. We about to dig even deeper into why Drake's newest ops, Jay-Z, Roc Nation, UMG, and Kendrick's whole camp ain't the crowd you want against you, and what Harv might actually do if he gets pushed too far. Don't go nowhere, you're gonna wanna hear what's next. So look, it's not even just about Jay-Z's legacy or the fact Drake might be catching the biggest L in hip-hop history. It's about the industry standing up and saying, this ain't how you move if you got real respect for the culture. Where the real ones at? Not behind a legal team trying to shut down lyrics because your feelings got hurt. And before you think this just some random drama, really peep who's riding out in Drake's defense. Notice ain't nobody from the old guard running to back him, not even OVO's inner circle. Dude out there by himself, yelling on the corner and getting met with crickets. Even industry vets got words for this mess. Producers, execs, media personalities, they all looking kind of stunned at how fast Drake going out said. They saw this man start out as the kid from Degrassi and end up as Rap's Karen, trying to speak to the manager of the whole culture. The thing is, in this business, if you're going to accuse people like Jay-Z and try to tangle up Roc Nation, you better have receipts, a backbone, and let's be real, actual bars to back it up. Drake out here playing checkers when everyone else already finished the chess game. You ever seen a rapper so desperate to control the narrative that he started dragging on conspiracy theories about Super Bowl halftime shows? Kendrick's performance was for the culture, period. Jay-Z was working as a power broker, bringing hip-hop to the biggest stage. Now Drake want to act like it was some Illuminati plot against him, all cause Not Like Us showed the world what real bars sound like. It's like, bruh, stop running. Maybe if he spent more time in the studio and less time filling out paperwork, he'd have a prayer or clawing back some respect. But nah, that's not what's happening. Instead, we're looking at one man in free fall, swinging at his own shadow, hoping someone, anyone, gonna take his side. The culture got a memory though. People don't forget how you move when the pressure's on. And the rappers who last, they're the ones who take the L, learn, and come back harder, not the ones calling for the manager every time they get cooked on wax. And trust, if you think Jay-Z or Push or even Kendrick gonna give this man a pass just cause the pass hits, you tripping. But yo, remember I told you that next chapter is about to heat up, because if Jay-Z responds, this ain't just a beef no more. It's about legacy, respect, and the whole game stopping to see if the old guard gotta step in and put the new guy in timeout permanently. So stick around, because what Drake do next might be a point of no return. Now here's where this whole situation take a wild turn and shows how desperate Drake look, because pulling Jay-Z and Roc Nation into some legal mess over the rap feud ain't just reaching. It's straight up wild and on a level nobody saw coming. Imagine going from started from the bottom to started suing the legends. Man, nobody even want to see that, especially with everything Jay represent for this culture. See, no matter how tight you think your legal team is, you're not punking a dude that helped turn hip-hop into a global empire. Hov didn't just put rappers in places kings dream about. He mentors whole generations, out here helping artists level up, beat industry contracts that been holding them back. So to see Drake in his feelings, dragging Jay into this, everybody's starting to see he don't care about hip-hop's growth, just his own pride. Bruh, that's the kind of move that make the legends look at you funny. Ain't no way you can expect Jay-Z with his billion-dollar chess game to get played by a man acting like the system is out to get him because he caught a stray on a Kendrick track. Bro, you can't win this. Jay move in silence. But when he do press a button, it's over. Dude got lawyers who make yours look like the public defender. All Drake doing is showing the industry that if things don't go his way, he's quick to ratchet up the drama instead of facing that tough crowd and maybe dropping a better song for once. And honestly, that's what people respect about Kendrick and Jay. Anytime they respond, it's not with complaints, it's with music or real moves. K, let the pen talk for him. Jay-Z, he been silent but deadly. The type to end whole beefs just by skipping your call or not showing up for a photo. Drake playing himself on this, trying to treat hip-hop like a courtroom instead of a battleground. It's mad corny to see a rapper file lawsuits because he got washed in front of the whole internet. And now, he want to act like he the victim of a huge plot instead of admitting the bars just didn't hit this time. Let's not act like this is new behavior either. How many times Drake gotta try to rewrite the rules of the game to fit his own narrative? It was the same energy when he got aired out by Pusha T and couldn't take the heat, went silent for a minute, blocked moves, tried to hide behind power instead of wordplay. Dude had the whole world talking about his son, ended up looking soft both on wax and off, but instead of spinning the comeback, he clung to stories of industry plots and secret enemies. Ain't nobody buying that now. We know who got bars, we know who got power. What we don't respect is running to Uncle Sam the minute you take a lyrical loss. Now the industry, they clocking all of this, and it's a lot of silent side eyes going on. The OGs see it for what it is. Roc Nation's whole image is uplift the game, bringing artists out of contracts, putting them in a spot where they can win. You think Jay got time to plot on Drake getting embarrassed at the Super Bowl? Nah, Jay too busy stargazing, building legacies, buying back art, and owning NFL teams to entertain dudes' conspiracies. Anybody who got their eyes open can see what's up. Drake ain't really about it. If every time he get pressed, he run into the boardroom instead of the booth. But best believe, if this lawsuit end up blowing back on Drake, history ain't gonna be kind. You messing with titans who don't lose. Kendrick, the finest pen in the last decade. Jay-Z, the coldest success story hip-hop ever produced. Even Pusha T, a man who only step out of the shadows to send big fish like Drake back home embarrassed. Ending up on all three bad sides at the same time, that's Hall of Fame level crash out for real. Real talk, industry folks don't want to step up for Drake because they know what time it is. You don't see Wayne, Nicki, or even the OVO co-signers popping out to defend these desperate moves. They're either too scared to get dragged into the mess, or they're exhausted watching this man stumble into another round of L's every month. Ain't nobody want to be at the front row when Hov decide to clap back if he even got to say something, because more time, Jay let you drown on your own. Let the silence say it all. He learned that from Dame, from Biggie days. Never argue with a rapper beneath you. Just make him irrelevant by not replying. Honestly, the only thing Drake accomplishing with all this is making himself look more isolated than ever. When you the only rapper beefing with the whole Hall of Fame, from the label to legends to new school, bro, you the denominator. You the one who need to reflect, look in the mirror, and see why the streets ain't talking about this no more when your name drop. Drake wants so bad to control the narrative, he forgot the only thing that can do that for real, fire music. But when was the last time he had the whole culture rally behind a song instead of a tweet or court document? Meanwhile, Kendrick got the whole city standing on couches singing his hooks. Pusha T still got the story of Adidon etched in everybody's mind. And Jay out here wearing suits in boardrooms and on stage looking untouchable, laughing at how fast Drake slid from people's favorite to hip-hop's cautionary tale. That's what happened when you stop focusing on the pen, thinking you can white-collar crime your way out of everything. Hip-hop ain't ever respected a paper champ, only the ones who go pound for pound, who come back after a loss and drop something that shake the concrete. Right now, Drake just making noise, but not a single sound that matter. And peep this, industry got a memory. Blood, they remember who moved shifty, who moved real, who fold under pressure, and who let the crowd decide with the music. If this suit get tossed, if Jay's team decide to start exposing the behind-the-scenes nonsense, we might be talking about a downfall hip-hop never seen before. This whole Karen narrative, the paperwork, the see-through legal stunts is all adding up. The next young rapper gonna study this saga and see exactly what not to do, how to destroy the bag, sabotage respect, and become a running joke in less than a year. That's the craziest part. Drake could have took this pain, sat down, reworked the formula, dropped the classic, and put all these rumors to bed. That would have been a W, no question. That would have gotten the OGs, the fans, hell, even some of his old rivals to nod and show love. But now, he on this crash out tour, dragging more and more names into quicksand, hoping somebody reach back and pull him up. Ain't gonna happen, fam. Hip hop about growth, resilience, and bars. That's Houston, that's Atlanta, that's Compton, that's Queens. Every legend, every real one in this space, know you only get remembered for what you do when you down. And right now, Drake's legacy in more danger than ever. If Jay ever reply, if Push decide to drop another surgical track, or Kendrick want to double back and stomp on the leftovers, bro, it's over. Shop closed. OVO become OVL for only valuable in lawsuits. And that's not an exaggeration. That's where all roads lead if you keep battling lawyers instead of rappers. Even if none of them say a word, the whole industry just gonna keep side-eyeing Aubrey and treated his next release like a meme drop, not a must listen. Sad part is he did it to himself. All the talent, all the legacy, risked over ego, down the drain. But listen, there's still a way out. Drake could have made this whole narrative flip with one decision. Take his L, hit the studio, and respond with music so hard even Harv gotta admit, aight, that's a comeback. Instead, we getting lawsuits, sneak disses on IG, and more excuses than bars. That path never gets you respect. Hip-hop always punish those who can't stand in the fire. Maybe Drake realized that, maybe he don't. Either way, the writing's on the wall, the culture know who real and who fall back on legal tricks when they get exposed. That's why you gotta watch the old heads and see how they move. Jay-Z got history with everybody, but nobody calling him out for petty lawsuits. Kendrick, every time he gets slighted, he load up a verse and let it ring. Never needed a judge to prove he won. Pusha, he'll clown you on social and in the song, then bury you with a bar. Drake, you wanna sit with these men? You gotta move like them, leave the legal pads for the contracts, not your comeback. So let's see what happened next. Cause real talk, the next play could change hip-hop forever. All eyes on Jay, on Push, on Kendrick, and most of all on Drake to see if he gonna finally respond in the booth or keep running around in the courtroom. Either way, the whole world tuned in to see if he gonna drop another classic or just drop out. If you mess with real hip-hop, if you wanna see the legends step in and correct the game, or you just love watching a wild story play out, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, run those likes up, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What you think Drake gonna do next? He got any shot at redemption, or is this just the final act? Either way, y'all heard it here. Before the headlines even caught up, keep it locked, cause this saga ain't close to finished. Stay real, don't chase L's, and demand better from who you call a legend. One.